Morning, everyone, and welcome to, can you believe it, the 85th Wednesday class. We've done 85 of these classes, and today also marks a very special day. Basti is on the chat, by the way, so please say hi and join in on the chat. Hi, Jane. Yes, today is actually, dun, 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 dun. It's our first year of going through an entire element cycle, and I've got a cake here, especially for the event. And if you remember, 1 year ago, we started a journey around the 5 elements. And just to remind you, the 5 elements go through the seasons. They expand on yin and yang. And 1 year ago, we started off, and this is the actual slide that we started off with. We were just going into the metal element. We're going from the metal element, the autumn last year, that is, into winter. And we've been around the whole cycle together. We've been through the winter, spring, we did the liver and gallbladder, summer, heart, small intestine, heart protector, triple heater, and then stomach and spleen in the late summer. And then we've just been through the whole of the autumn series, and we finished with point of the week right at the end of the large intestine meridian. So well done. Yeah, thank you, Jane. Yeah, I could try and get some of Kat's amazing chocolate cake. Yeah, we've had 5 editions of Kat's Kitchen as well. That's taken us through all the 5 elements. So we've had a great time. Really hope you've enjoyed it. What we're going to do now is what I thought we'd do is just for the rest of the year, I'd like to do some CV points and governing vessel points, show you some of those points, the really important ones. That'll take us through to the end of the year. And then in January, to start off the new year, we can go through the meridian cycle around the Chinese clock. And I'll explain a little bit later as we get close to that. But basically, each meridian has a time in the 24-hour clock. And what we'll do is we'll take a journey. Oh, it'll take us a year, but we'll take a journey right through the entire meridian cycle. So by the end of next year, we will have done the whole sequence. And I'll show you how all the meridians connect up. And perhaps that will also help us remember where the channels are and their meaning and how they connect up with each other. Because basically each meridian has a certain section in the 24-hour clock. There are 12 meridians, so that gives us 1 meridian a month. So every 2 months we'll do a meridian pair and we'll get all the way through. So there we go. Looking forward to that. So without further ado, shall we start this week's Wednesday class? I thought this week we could do a themed class on connecting with heaven and earth. We haven't done that for a little while, and it's always good to check in just to see whether you're feeling balanced between heaven and earth. So first off, before we do the body scan, we'll do a checking in with how we're feeling. And then what we'll do is I'll run a poll. I've got a poll on whether we're feeling 2 up or 2 down. And then what we'll do is we'll work today to get ourselves nicely balanced between yin and yang, heaven and earth. And I think that'd be a great way to end this whole 5 element year that we've had together. Okay, so here we go. Basti is on the chat, by the way, so he's there. If you want to have got any questions or anything, we will start. Okay. Let's close the door just in case anyone comes in. Okay, so I'm going to get my pad out and let's just check in and do this heaven and earth connection thing first of all. Okay, so basically, the Chinese character for a human being kind of links heaven and earth. So we've got the yin of the earth, and that gives us a feeling of substance, a feeling of feeling grounded. And we know quite a few points that can help us with that. What we're looking for is a nice balance between weightedness on the ground and a connection with the earth, and also a feeling of lightness in the body, which we get from floating the head up, releasing the neck, releasing the yang channels. So we've got a balance between lightness and heaviness. Now, what can go wrong? Well, what can happen is we can feel too heavy like this, where we feel kind of like we've got no lift, no lightness in our body. And I think everyone's felt that feeling sometimes. And the other thing can happen as well is when we lose our grounding and we start going up like this. We start floating around like this, not really connected to the earth. I'm sure we've all experienced that as well. So why don't we just check in now and see where we're at. So we're not going to do anything particular except observe how we feel. So we're just standing, feet shoulder width apart, without changing anything. Just tune into your whole body energy, tune into your spine, tune into your feet. and just see if you feel like you're floating up like this, or whether you feel you're generally sinking down like this. Okay? Or maybe you're nicely balanced in the middle just to start off with. Okay, so I'm just going to tune in myself and see how I feel. Okay, you can probably see, but I'd like you to tune into your own energy, please, and see how you feel. And I'm going to write some notes down on that. I'm just going to do a picture myself. And I'm going to run the pulse straight away. I'm going to run the pulse straight away, and then I'll show you my drawing. So are you feeling, oh dear, it's changed, just unbelievably stressed, calm. Well, I'm sure we can help you by the end of the hour. So let's just see if I can find whether you're feeling up, down, or about right. Here we go. I've got this poll. Let's just see how we're doing as a group. So are you feeling very much too up, very ungrounded, a little bit ungrounded, about balanced, too down, or very much too down? And then what we'll do is we'll work on it. Now, sometimes we've done this poll, we've got a completely perfect distribution of balance between those who are feeling too heavy and too up. And then it's gone in different times in the last year and a half. It's gone one way or the other. So let's see how we're doing. And look what we've got today. We've got a massive majority feeling too heavy and too grounded. In other words, there's not enough yang there lifting you up and giving you a feeling of hope and vision and lightness and stuff like that. So we better do something about that group, okay? And those of you who are feeling a little bit too ungrounded, you notice there's no one who said they're too up. Then what we'll do is we'll use the techniques just to centralize everything. Okay, well, we better find out what we need to focus in on individually when we do that. So let's do a whole body scan and we'll find out tuning in. This is a really important process. It's called focusing. It's a somatic exercise. It's not just a Shiatsu thing. And it's used in all kinds of different things like mindfulness and other stuff like that. It's a really good idea to tune in at least once a week and see if we can figure out how we are. Okay, so let's do that. So we're going to just stand. I've got my pad here. Oh, by the way, this is my drawing. I'm slightly, a little bit up, a little bit too up today. So I'm going to make sure I can do something about that in the class. Okay, so let's just relax. We're not judging ourselves at all. We're just going to scan through our body, starting from the top of the head, and we're going to go scanning through a bit like a photocopier, and just notice if there's any areas of pain or obstruction, weakness, or anything as we scan through. Okay, so through the head, scanning through our head, our jaw, our neck, shoulders. Okay. And then just down the arms, through the arms and into the hands. Okay, and then down through the chest. Don't forget to scan through your back as well as you go down through your back. Okay, and then we're going to go through the abdomen. Down into the lower burner and the sacrum, through the hips, and then down and through the feet and down through the legs and into the feet. Okay, so now just relax, kind of get a snapshot of how you feel. Okay, and we're just going to draw a whole body scan. So just a little sketch of how you feel. You can remind us of what to work on. Okay, what I'd like to do is I'd like to run the poll of where do you feel like you'd like to work, because we can correlate that with this feeling of too heavy and too grounded, and we can figure out, yeah, okay, here we go. I'm just going to draw my drawing first, just to kind of draw this up. Okay, and then I'm going to run the poll of where you'd like to work, because we can correlate that with this general feeling of feeling too grounded. So where in your body do you feel a block or weakness you'd like to work with? Okay, I'm sharing it now. So where is it? Is it more in the head, neck and shoulders, down the arms, inside the upper body, inside the lower body, or into the hips, torso and legs? And what we can do is we can correlate that with this feeling of, general feeling of feeling a little bit too heavy, and we'll see what's happening. Okay, now look at this. This is really, really interesting. We've got a definite division here. Not so much happening in the middle of the body, but more the lower body and the hips, and then the head, neck, and shoulders. And we can work on that because those are very important energy pivot points which can obstruct to help us get this heaven and earth connection. Okay, we're getting there, group. Thank you very much for that. Here's my body scan. You can see I need help as much as anyone at the moment. And I'm going to do the 3 burner scan now. I think I might do it sitting down for a change. Let's see. So let's figure out which burners we need to work on as well. We can kind of guess, can't we, from that other poll? But let's do a scan now. What we'll do is we'll scan all 3 burners and then we'll just draw quickly and I'll run that poll for you. Okay, so here we go. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to scan through the 3 burners. We've got the lower burner, middle burner, and upper burner. Okay, we're going to relax. You might like to close your eyes and we're going to tune in to the lower burner. See what that feels like, or see what it's like. Got it? Okay, excellent. So now compare that with the middle burner. That's below the diaphragm and above the navel. Okay, right, and then see what they're like together, and then we're going to look at the upper burner here. Okay, and now compare all 3 and decide which one you'd like to work on today. And I'll run the poll. I'll just do my drawing, and then we'll run the poll. Okay, that's my 3 burner drawing today. Let's run the poll. Which burner would you like to work on? And with all that information, we should be able to put together a lovely class for you, and for me too, for all of us. And of course, we've got point of the week coming up. Very exciting, the end of the large intestine channel. So which burner do you want to work on most today? I'll run that poll, and let's see what we need to do. Okay, very good. Anyone else like to vote? Okay, look at that. Wow. Okay, all I can say is wow, look at that. We've got a big majority for the lower burner, which is quite unusual over the last few weeks. So we've got lower burner, we've got the lower part of the body needs work, and generally speaking, most of us feeling too grounded. So we need a little bit of lift, realignment, and releasing the upper body and tonifying the lower burner. Okay, now of course the lower burner is related to the kidney energy. Kidney energy is starting to get very significant because this is the low time for the kidneys, the winter. So we need to look after ourselves, get plenty of rest, not get too stressed, not overworking and things like that. So we need to tonify the lower burner, release the upper body and the hips, okay? And let's see if we can get nicely balanced in between heaven and earth. That's the aim. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so we're going to start off with doing some shaking, and we're going to do this in a specific way because what we want to do with this is we want to make sure that we release all of the yang channels in the upper body. And the reason for that is because those yang channels have to be clear to get that connection with the heavens. So let's start off releasing the jaw, okay, and we're just going to open the jaw up slightly. Okay, we're going to concentrate on the whole head and neck, and we're going to start by shaking the upper body, the head and neck first, like this. And you can make some sounds if you like. Okay, we're shaking the head and neck, and we bring that down into the shoulders and the hands. Okay, and the movement we want is to move the energy away from the head down the yang channels. And the yang channels are the ones you can see if I do this. Okay, they're all on the outside of the body, down the arms and down the legs, and they're the ones we use to treat issues in the head when we're doing acupuncture or shiatsu. So we're going to do it ourselves by releasing the whole upper body. Let's put a bit more emphasis in this. What we're going to do is we're going to keep shaking, and I'd like you to raise up your shoulders as tight as you can. Okay, and then on the exhalation, we're going to let them drop down. Okay, got that? So we're breathing in. Okay, now as you do that strong exhalation, we're throwing the energy out, down through our hands and down through our legs and feet. Okay, and that's going to really help open up the whole of these yang channels. So I'm going to just shake my head a bit round. I'm going to bring it forwards and back. And what I'm doing here is trying to release the back of the neck. Okay, a bit more shaking, concentrate on the shoulders, opening up the armpits. Okay, let's do a few of those squeezing and releasing, okay? Here we go. Very good, okay. So now we're going to just open up the chest, and what I'm going to go forward like this, and then back like this. Nice and easy, so we're opening up the spine, shaking backwards like this, opening up this part of the chest, and go forwards. Okay, so we're going forwards as far as I can, and back. There's going to be a little bit of movement in the spine. We're opening the spine up like this. And don't forget the bladder channel, which is one of the main yang channels in the body, goes right from the head all the way down the back and into the feet. So releasing the back is a really important part of today's class, because we've got to get that spine as released as we can. Okay. And what we're going to do is I'm going to shake a little bit further down like this. Relaxing the jaw, throwing the hands down. And then coming back, opening the chest up this way and releasing it like this. Excellent. Just a few more, going forwards. Okay, and back up. Okay, now just show you how important this is. In a minute, when we just do a few more of these, I'm going to do a few more squeezing and throwing down again. Ready with me? In case of breathing in. Shaking a bit, and 2 more. Oh, okay, great. Okay, now let's just tune in and see what's happened. Now, just relax again. Can you feel that lightness in the upper body? You've got a lot more lightness going on around the head. That's because we've released those yang channels. Now, what this will enable us to do is enable us to get that yang connection, and it's called the sky hook in Qi Gong. It's like a hook that goes up and it connects up with the sky and lifts us up. So let's just do a few breaths and experiment with that. We're tuning in internally. Just going to do a little bit more shaking here. Okay, now relaxing the jaw, floating the head up. There we go. And can you feel that's not only just light in the head, but we're also getting a feeling of expansion here because of the shaking moving forwards and backwards. Okay, and it's really important that we do that we get this upper body really released to get that connection with the yang energy. It's that lightness that we need, so we're not kind of like this. It's this natural floating up. Okay, excellent stuff. Right, so now what we're going to do now is we're going to extend that shaking, and we're going to make sure we get that yang channel release all the way down the legs, because a lot of us are having issues in the hips. Okay, so we're going to do some jumping up and down, a little bit of just bouncing, and I'd like you to release your hips, and we're going to start shaking our energy from our head through our hips, a bit like this, but this time we're going. Okay, we're going to release the hips. Okay, really get this whole area relaxed, moving it. Okay. Okay, and then what we can do is we can concentrate. If you can stand on one leg, you might need to hold onto a wall or a chair. This is really good to do that to stabilize yourself if you need that. I'm going to get my chair over here. Holding onto a chair if you're too sure about standing up, and then that gives us the ability to really release this hip. Okay, now the most important thing though is to connect it with the head, so relaxing the jaw again, shaking down through the leg into the foot. Okay, and the other one. Okay, very good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to connect that up through the bladder channel. Okay, and we're going to do it with the stretching and opening the spine. So what I'm going to do is just literally go down like this, as far as you can, just really relax. Start shaking the spine out this way. I'm going left and right. Okay, we're coming up. Releasing anywhere in the spine that you need. We're going up. And we're going to go back. Just as far as you can comfortably. Try and get the whole spine just to relax backwards. Okay. Very good. Okay, and I'm shaking this way just to release the whole spine. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, checking in again. Now that we've shaken down into the legs, we're just going to jump up and down a few more times. That's it. Tuning in again. Okay, now that lightness now spread down. Can you feel that into the hips? So there's quite a lot of lightness going on in the body now, isn't there? Which is good, okay? We need that release, but we need the yin as well. So for those of you who are a little bit too floaty up, we're going to work the lower burner, which is the most favorite burner of the day. We need to strengthen that up, and we also need to activate the yin. Okay. First of all, let's just check in our connection with the yin now. So I want you to think of your feet, think down into the earth, and tune in through your body, and just see how much yin energy you've got. Yin energy is that calming, solid feeling that you get when you're nicely grounded. Okay. So just tune into that, and then we'll do something about strengthening. So now that we've released all these yang channels, let's cut to the chase and go to the most yin point in the body and see if we can start building that yin connection up from the ground. And of course, the point we all need, most of all right now, is kidney 1. So I'm going to get my chair out. And this is where we start doing the other half of the story. So we're releasing the yang channels down, creating lightness in the body. And with the yin channels, what we do is we form a feeling of solidity, not heaviness exactly, but a solidity and connection with the earth. And the favorite point of all to do that is the famous kidney 1. 1/3 of the distance down the midline of the foot. I'm going to put my fingers right in there today. Stretching out. I'm just doing a nice stretch to the bladder and kidney stretch. Whoa. Okay, now if we rub down this way, what we're doing is we're encouraging those yang channels that run all the way from the head down the legs. We're encouraging the yang channels to release even more down into the toes, okay? And then we've got lovely connection with the yin, with kidney 1 underneath here. Just opening up for now. Now it's the time to give it a bit of a doing, stimulate it. Very good. Excellent. Brilliant. Okay, so see what I'm doing. I'm opening up the foot this way. That's opening the yang channels, pressing in here, which is stimulating kidney 1. Holding on to kidney 3 with my thumb, just behind the ankle, just to give it a bit more power there. Very good. Okay, come back. Put this sock back on. It's actually quite mild in Norwich the last couple of days. It's gone all warm again on us. So socks are not so important as they were a week ago when it was freezing in here. Okay, so here we go. Fingertips into kidney 1 and opening up the yang channels in the foot by opening the foot this way, stretching out. Let's get those fingers right into kidney 1. It's really good. Highly recommended. And let's get that kidney 1 activated. I've got my thumb here on kidney 3, holding onto the ankle. Very good. Okay, excellent. Just one will go. Very good. Okay, so now let's just see the effect of kidney 1 alone in connecting us with the yin, because we've done quite a lot of work opening up all the yang channels, all that shaking and the spine and everything, creating lightness. And let's just see what just doing some stimulation of kidney 1 can do just on its own before we do anything else. Okay, so we're going to put feet shoulder width apart. We're going to relax. Okay, now first of all, tune into your body as a whole, especially upper body. Still feels pretty light, doesn't it? Quite nice and open. But now, look, tune into your feet. Let's tune into our feet and feel that connection with the earth. And you notice the kidney 1 is now zinging away. It's opening up. And if we just relax our hips, what you'll feel a nice feeling of kind of almost like the earth coming up through your legs and into the center of your body. Now, how far that goes up depends on how your burners are. Okay, so sometimes you'll go up, like for me, it goes up to about here, and there's a bit of an obstruction there, so that's a little bit blocked there. But it's going nicely into here. It all depends on how your burners are set up. But what we're looking for is we're looking to strengthen that up, release here, open this up, and connect all the way up, and then we'll be done. Okay, so let's see if we can build on that kidney 1 by going all the way up the kidney channel. We'll go up and we'll see if we can start to energize the lower abdominal area, the lower burner. Okay, so I'm going to just start tapping just behind the ankle there, kidney 3. We're going to go up. Just kidney 10. We're going to go up onto the top of the pelvic bone, pubic bone, sorry, here, and then round onto the sacrum, which is related to the bladder, and also the kidney, and then go down the backs of the legs and up the inside. Nice, here we go. Yeah, round. Inside. Very good. Okay, let's see what that's done. So shaking out. Okay, there we go. Tingling up the legs. You can feel the kidney channel opening up nicely. So now let's consolidate that by energizing the lower burners. So we're going to rub our hands together until they get nice and warm. Place our hand just below the navel. More on that in the next few weeks because we're going to be doing some of the conceptual vessel points along the front of the body. And we can go into more detail about the points that make up the lower dantian. It's going to be pretty interesting. But for now, if you just imagine an area just below the navel there. Okay, right, so okay, here we go, everyone, right? Let's open up that kidney 1 and feel that tingling feeling all the way up the legs. And now using our imagination, imagine that our root is going down. Our root is going down from kidney 1 down deep into the earth. And we're relaxing the hips. Very good. And now we're going to open up the armpits with the egg, the famous egg under the armpit. We'll keep the arms really relaxed. Very good. Relaxing our hips. Very good. Okay, so now let's just get that lightness in the upper body and open up kidney 1 to give that connection with the earth. Very good. Okay, so now let's add in the breathing. So we're going to breathe in. We're going to direct the breath all the way down into the lower burner. Okay. Keeping the shoulders relaxed. And then nice long exhalations. As we do that, we're focusing our Qi in the lower burner there. What that means is just kind of imagine that the energy from the breath comes down and stays into the lower burner. Okay, here we go, breathing in. Okay, very good. So now let's just see, man, you're probably feeling that heat starting to generate underneath your hands. Now we're going to imagine it's going through the body and into the back and into the sacrum here. So we're going to imagine this all getting nice and warm. So we do that by relaxing the hips and the sacrum, directing the breath into the lower back and the sacrum as we breathe in. Okay, so here we go. Bring that breath right into here. And then breathing out. Okay, keep those hips relaxed, keep that kidney one open. Very good. Okay, now if you've got the flexibility in your shoulders to do this, this is a good way of just stimulating the back. I'm working kidney, the kidney U point, the associated effect point of the kidney, which is bladder 23. Okay, so we're just opening that up. Same kind of thing again. If you're stiff in the shoulders, you can just keep doing this and just imagine this whole area getting warm. Very good. Okay, shaking out and check in time. Okay, let's just see what's happening. Still not nice lightness in the upper body. That kidney one's still zinging away. The kidney channel's nice and open. And energy's really starting to build down the lower burner. Can you feel that breath going in there? Okay, very important to keep the hips relaxed and open and really allow the whole lower part of the abdomen to fill up with energy or Qi with the breath. That's the visualization. Okay, excellent. Okay, we're definitely getting there. So now let's do a little bit of work on the middle burner. For those of you who need to just clear that a bit to connect up. And we'll go back and connect up with the upper burner, connect them all up at the end using the alignment. So let's do some work using Doin. We're going to use some Doin to clear the middle burner. Always a good idea. So what we're going to do is we're just going to tune into the middle burner first of all, like you just press around and see what it feels like. It should feel kind of relaxed and kind of open and not hot or anything like that, just nice and relaxed. And a really common thing when we get stressed is to get tension around the diaphragm here and around the middle burner. Right, so let's see if we can relax and release that. And let's do something a little bit different today. We're going to use gallbladder, this is all to do with the direction of energy. We're going to use gallbladder 21, which is this point on the top of the shoulders. I remember that from back in the spring. And we're going to tap down through the diaphragm and down into the feet. And this is how it goes. We're going to lift the arm up, support it if you like. We're going to tap gallbladder 21 right on the top of the shoulders here. And see if you can feel it descending the energy down, right down into lower burner. So I'm going to put one hand on the lower burner and I'm going to tap down on gallbladder 21. See if you can get a connection there between the two of them. And just see what happens to the middle burner. You'll probably find that the middle burner will start to release and open, the diaphragm will release. And the reason for that is because this point, gallbladder 21, has the strongest downward action. If you're pregnant, by the way, it's not recommended you do this because it's got a downward action. It's used when you're doing birth inductions and things like that. That's just a contraindication of the point. So what I'm doing, I'm holding the lower burner and I'm tapping gallbladder 21. At the same time, I'm tuning into this middle burner here. And it's like I'm directing the energy from the tapping down into the lower burner. This is a very important action of gallbladder 21. Okay, and the reason I'm using it today particularly is because so many of us need that downward action away from the yang channels of the head, and also releasing this. Now I'm going to shake it a bit more. Okay, now checking in time. Okay, hold the low dantian, and let's take a deep breath in now. Okay, notice how much easier that is, and that's because we've stimulated gallbladder 21, which helps that downward action, brings the breath in, and helps by releasing the middle burner. Okay, so let's do some tapping around here. just to consolidate that, just tapping around the lower part of the ribs. So if you imagine where the ribs are here, we've got liver 13 and liver 14. So we've got the liver channel here. So it actually runs up onto the rib cage. So just tapping around the rib cage, around here really helps. And then we can work the meridians in the legs. And can you remember them? Okay, we have the wood element, which is related to the spring. It's related to frustration and anger and things like that. We go around the side of the body. Remember these points, gallbladder 34 was a favourite. Up the liver channel and back up onto the ribs of the diaphragm. And then down the outside of the legs. Okay, very good. Tapping down, side, very good. Okay, excellent. So now let's just keep going. We're going to go down the outside of the abdominal muscles. We're going to go down through the front outside of the legs. It's the stomach channel. Up the inside front of the legs. And then down the outside. Okay. Outside of the stomach channel and up the spleen channel. One more circuit. Bring it down. And up again. Very good. Let's just shake out the legs, especially the hips. Okay, the gallbladder channel, by the way, is very, very dominant in the hips. And I know a lot of us felt obstruction in the hips, so we can release that. Shake that down again. And I notice this, look, when we shake down like this, can you feel how much easier it is now to get your energy down into your feet? And that's because the middle burners been released, and particularly the hips have been released. The gallbladder channel, everything's starting to connect up. Okay, awesome. Checking in time. Let's hold the lower abdomen. Don't forget, most of us vote, a lot of us, the majority of us voted for the lower burner. So let's just check in and see how we're energizing the lower burner with breath. Tune in, head floating up. Keep that kidney one open. And a nice deep breath in, directing it down into the lower burner. Okay, that's really, really good. Okay, and then breathing out. And gathering the chi there. You see, we're getting there. Excellent. Okay, so now we've just got the upper burner. We've made a good start on clearing the yang channels. We can finish up by making sure that we can get all those points open and everything. Okay, so upper burner, we've basically got pericardium and the lung, the main and the heart. These are the three yin channels of the arm that feed into the chest area. And we've also got some yang channels in the arm that we've already worked indirectly with the shaking. So let's start off by doing some doing. I'm going to just do some doing on the heart protector channel here, which is along the top part of the chest. And once we've got that nicely opened up, we can start going inside of the arm down towards the middle finger, and then back up the outside of the arm, which is the paired channel, or the heart protector channel. Go onto the chest, down to the hand, back up. Very good. One more. It's more like it. And then on this side, again, keeping all this moving down the middle finger, heart protector, and then up to the heater. Okay, very good. Checking in with the pericardium. What should happen now is if we do this, breathe in, breathe out, and come back. Nice open tingling feeling in the middle finger. That's a sign that we've opened up the heart protector channel. Nice, okay, nice open feeling here. Very important for feeling kind of calm. Very good. So let's do the lung. Let's just do a few stretches like this. We're just going to just let the arms swing back. Keep the thumbs open. Okay, very good. So now, because we've got lower burner as a theme, let's see if we can direct the breath down from the lungs into the lower burner as we do this exercise. And there's a Chinese medicine connection here because the lungs send the qi downwards and the lower burner kind of connects up and grasps the qi, kind of connects it like this. So we can encourage that by breathing in and we're directing the breath down into the lower burner, breathing out and relaxing. Very good. One more nice relaxed breath. Very good. Okay, so let's just help the lung channel just by doing some tapping around lung 1 and 2. Remember those? We've done relatively recently in the class around this, and we go down towards the thumb here, and then back up the large intestine meridian. And the large intestine channel runs up here. Remember we did these points last week, these points on the shoulder, and it actually runs up into the head, and that's where point of the week is, which we'll be doing anytime soon. So lung, large intestine, and we'll just do it up onto the shoulder for now. We'll cover the upper part of the channel when we do the head and the face. Okay, so it's lung, and large intestine. Very good. Brushing off. Okay, lung. So we're going down into the thumb and then back from the first finger back up the arm. Remember these points that we did the other day? Large intestine 10 here on this bulgy bit, and then large intestine 11 in the right in the elbow crease there. And we go up. Excellent. Okay, lung stretch. Breathing in, thumbs up like this. Breathing out, stretching back. And that's the lung channel stretch. Great, which only leaves us one channel left in the arm. That's the heart, which runs right underneath the armpit. Remember we did that heart 1, and it runs down towards the finger. This is a little bit more of a vulnerable channel, so we tend to just tap it quite lightly into the wrist, and then into the little finger, and then back up again, this way, until we get to the back of the shoulders, small intestine 10 and 11, 9, 10 and 11, all round here at the back. Brilliant, so there we go, around again. Very good. Nice and calmly, nice and gently opening up the heart channel. Very good. Okay, I'm just brushing off. And we do the other side. Again, opening up the armpit, going down towards the little finger. Just going to tap underneath the armpit a little bit. And then down. So we go around 3 times, again, nice and gently, going in for the little finger there, and then back. Okay, excellent. Okay, heart stretch. There's various heart stretches. This is one I like, where you bring your arms out like this, you bring your little finger up like this, so it's like that, and then you twist your arm like this. So we're going to breathe in, Breathe out and twist our arm backwards like that, and you'll feel that right into the armpit. That opens up the heart channel. Okay, shaking out. Okay, check-in time. Let's see what's happening. Let's see what we've got. Okay, nice light feeling in the upper burner. That's what we want. Relaxed in the middle burner. Nice and solid in the lower burner. Can you feel that? Especially if you just get those hips really relaxed. Open up kidney 1. Connect down into the earth. Okay, that gives us the solidity that we need in the center of the body. Okay, but we don't want it to be too heavy though. We want it just to be supported. And this is where all that shaking we did at the beginning of the session really will come in to its own now, because if you feel now the upper body still feels pretty light, we've got the head floating up and the neck and the throat and everything feels really quite nice there. Okay, that's pretty good, I would say, pretty much balanced. The only thing left to do now is make sure we get absolutely sure that all these yang channels are cleared out before we end, and then just finish up with some breathing. So let's go into the head routine, and before we do anything else on the head, I'd like to show you point of the week. Okay, and what is it? Well, we're coming right to the end of the metal element. The large intestine channel, as you know, starts here. It goes all the way up here, large intestine 4, goes all the way up through the arm into the shoulder. And then it goes up into the head, and it ends right by the nose here with a very famous point called welcome smell. And large intestine 20, I've got the slide right here. Here we are, there it is. It's called welcome smell. It's used for any problem in the nose, like nasal congestion, hay fever. It's also used for eye problems, mouth issues sometimes. It's just a very strong clearing point in the face. I'd like to show you how to do it. Okay, you can see the location there. It's right by the outside of the nose here. So if I give you a close-up, it's right kind of here. Woo! It's there, okay? And the direction is directly inwards. It's a point we use a lot when we do Shiatsu, when we're working on the sinuses and stuff like that. We've already covered some of the stomach points back in the summer, but this is a large intestine point. So we just go either side of the nose like this. And the direction is directly inwards. Okay, and what you want to do is, I'm going to use my middle finger just to give a bit more power. Get the angle completely right. Okay. So you're not going up, you're not going down or sideways. You're just going straight in, so there's no movement here. Okay, and now if we open up our armpits to get that qi flowing through our hands, okay, and then relax, send the qi up through your hands and into this finger, okay, and then really relax and imagine the qi going in as deep as you can into that point. Okay, and you're going to get probably 3 different things happening. You're either going to feel it in the eyes, or more the sinuses, or sometimes you'll feel the action down into the mouth there. But just check out where you mainly feel it. The main thing you feel is this feeling of the nose opening up, and it increases your ability to smell. Okay, very, very powerful point on the head, large intestine 20. We love that point. I think I might have to blow my nose in a minute because it's just get one of my giant tissues. Sorry. It's very, very effective at unblocking the nose. Gets the sinuses moving. Oh, wow, I feel totally different. Okay, so there we are. We have it, large intestine 20, the last point on the last channel of our 5-element journey, our 1-year journey. How about that? Awesome. Okay, excellent. And next year, we'll find out how all the channels link together. Okay, so let's just spend the next 5 minutes sorting out and opening up that. Let's just do a few more points for the sinuses. Now that we've cleared out large intestine 20, whoa, that's just a strong point. We're going to go around here. I'm just going to squeeze in around here. This is takes in stomach 2 and stomach 3, which is also used for clearing the sinuses out. So I'm just going to do this. Okay, if you get congestion or headaches in the upper sinuses, which is around here, the upper sinus cavity, then we can do some tapping here. Okay, and this is an interesting bit of information. The large intestine channel runs in the same place in the arm as the stomach channel runs in the leg. If you think about it, it's on the front outside. And it's no surprise then that the large intestine channel and the stomach channel are really close together, and they tend to dominate the front of the head. So if you get heavy headaches, heavy feeling of headaches in the front of the head, then we tend to treat them locally with stomach points and large intestine points. And we treat them with distal points on the large intestine meridian and the stomach channel. Okay, so that's a little bit of information if you get those frontal type of headaches. Okay, now if you get headaches more on the side of the head or clamping headaches, they're more associated with the triple heater channel down the middle of the outside arm and the famous gallbladder channel down the side. Remember we did gallbladder 21 here. So if you get headaches more on the side of the head, you want more local points around the side, and then use the channel on the arm. And headaches on the back of the head are related to the bladder and the small intestine. Okay, so it's that front, sides, and back thing again with the headache location. Very good. Okay, so let's just finish off. I'm going to just come around here, relax the jaw. I'm going to pull my ears around a bit. Very, very relaxing. And then we're just tapping over the top of the head. Okay, I don't know about you, but the yang channels feel quite good already because we did so much shaking them out at the beginning of the session. So let's just concentrate on our neck now. And it's time to work the bladder channel here. You can either tap it or squeeze it. I like to squeeze it myself like this. You can also press in or tap. Just going to squeeze it down there. Very good. Squeeze in. Brilliant. Okay, then get down to here. Remember that? Gallbladder 21. We did earlier. And don't forget to do the front of the neck because that's the bit that connects with the stomach and the large intestine. And again, we can squeeze that here. Squeeze that in. Very good. Okay. Excellent. I think that's just about done our head and neck. So now let's just connect everything up and get some breathing just to connect it all up. And what I'd like to do today is, because it's so important to get the spine relaxed and it's so difficult to get to that bladder channel with the hands, let's do some stretching of the bladder channel. We use this yoga stretch. And what we're going to do is just try and release the whole of the spine. So the way we do that is aligning the spine. So you imagine the spine is extending out this way and the sacrum is extending out this way. So we've got this kind of extension there. And what we want to try and do is keep that extension as we breathe in and stretch up. So we're not squeezing up, we're extending out through the head and through the sacrum. Breathing in, breathing out, coming back to the neutral position, and then breathing the other way, breathing out all the way out. Okay, you see what I'm doing? I'm not squeezing here, I'm extending this out and extending this out to extend the spine. Okay, breathing in. Breathing out. When we can breathe out, we've got any areas of tension or stiffness in the spine, we're just going to breathe into those areas and release them. Breathing in nice and gently and easily. Nice. Okay, just want to do one more. Breathing in and breathing out. Okay, excellent stuff. Wow. Okay, let's tune in and see how we're doing. We've had so much shaking, we should feel pretty released now. So let's check in again. And what have we got? Well, we've got nice feeling of openness in the spine, kidney 1 nicely connected with the earth, the leg channels nicely relaxed, just opening the hips, making sure they're released. That's it, settling the breath in the lower dantian. Giving space and relaxing that middle burner. Again, a nice open feeling in the upper burner there. Okay, notice also those channels in that. My nose is still going. The breath's going in really easy thanks to large intestine 20 there, welcome smell. Okay, you can feel the breath going all the way down into the dantian. Okay, excellent. So let's do this Tai Chi exercise for the last few minutes and really enjoy that feeling of connecting with heaven and earth. And we can do any small adjustments that we need right at the end here. So what we're going to do is feet shoulder width apart. We're going to get that sky hook engaged, so we're floating our head up, but at the same time we're relaxing the sacrum and we're opening up kidney 1. We're getting that nice connection down into the earth. Okay, excellent. So now we're going to breathe in. Okay, and we're going to breathe out, relaxing. Okay, breathing in. Breathing in. And breathing out. Okay, very good. Now let's go for the earthing. So we're opening up kidney 1. We're going to sink down into the earth. And we're going to push up from the earth. Open up that kidney 1, relax the hips, sink down into the earth, and push up as if you're really heavy from your legs. Think right down to the center of the earth. And imagine getting pushed up from the center of the earth all the way up. Okay, so that's our yin connection. Now we're going to connect up with the sky hook. We're going to imagine that we're floating down and then floating up. Breathing in and breathing out, floating up, keeping everything light, floating down, okay, and floating up. Okay, excellent. Now we're going to put it all together. Okay, ready? Sinking down, connecting with the earth, floating up. Nice long exhalations, really relaxed. That's it. Okay, breathing in, breathing out. Sinking down into the earth, floating up from the top of the head. Sinking down, floating up. Okay, one more. Okay, excellent. And now just tuning in, feeling the connection as deep as you can down into the earth, right down to the center of the earth. And then relaxing the spine and feeling that connection as high up as you can, supporting and connecting with the yang. Okay, well done, excellent. How about that? Well, I don't know about you, but I really enjoyed today. Thank you very much. I hope you really enjoyed it, and thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations if you've been with us all year. I know some of you haven't missed one single of the 85 Wednesday classes. It's absolutely incredible. Thank you so much, Basti, for covering the chat. I can see that it's been really, really busy, and yeah, it's great. How about that? So we've just spent a few weeks checking out the conception vessel and the governing vessel. Some awesome points there that we must explore. And then in January, tell all your friends, we're going to go on a journey together through all of the 12 meridians around the clock, and we'll find out all the different things that we can do with that. Okay, great. Yeah, okay, had a great time. Feel totally different, I tell you, than I did an hour ago. This is now history. I feel totally different, and I hope you do the same. If you still need more input, don't forget you can always watch the replay this week until next Wednesday. Okay, see you next time.